This is Nero Cinema? The war is officially on. Activision fired back. Let's see what... I'm guessing he means the war between Battlefield 6 and Black Ops 7. You never know what you're gonna get with him, though. But he typically genuinely does give credit where credit is due.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the
right.
channel,
Sorry.
I want to go over the absolute war that is happening between Call of Duty and Battlefield right now.
I didn't know he was going to come in like that.
These two games are competing. This is the craziest time that bands have had in ages, solely because these two companies...
Dude, and it's so dope, too. It's so dope. Thank you, Battlefield 6. Always going to thank Battlefield 6 for the changes that are happening with Black Ops 7.
They want you squarely focused on their game and not paying attention to the other one whatsoever. Yesterday, of course, we got the Season 1 trailer for Battlefield 6, and honestly...
My favorite comment I think I saw a comment was like, can Battlefield... It was from a, under a Call of Duty video. It was like, can Battlefield release Battlefield 6 every year? And like, honestly, yeah, I wish there was a world where that could happen.
It looked really freaking good, man. Battlefield 6 has been killing it lately. Well, wouldn't you know it, just one day later, one day after that reveal, Activision decided to release a bunch of teasers for Season 1 of Black Ops 7, even though that game doesn't actually come out for another 3 weeks. Season 1 for Black Ops 7 is like 2 months away from now, but because so many people were talking about Battlefield, Activision released all this stuff to try to get people to talk about Call of Duty instead. Like, these two companies here are freaking
so
at
nice.
war,
No, it's so
things
nice.
are for sure here. Number
and
8,
the consumers are winning.
Black Ops 7 Season 1 is objectively going to be the biggest season in Call of Duty history.
Literally,
and
yeah.
Number B, it's all
Welcome
thanks
back.
to
Thank you,
Battlefield,
Psycho.
man, making sure that Activision actually comes correct this time around. So even if you just only play COD, you don't like Battlefield whatsoever, I mean, that's cool.
You're still eating.
Even if you're that person.
You're still eating. We're still winning. We're still winning.
You have to thank Battlefield, man.
Yes,
because if it was not for that,
I started this by saying it. Thank
Black
you,
Ops 6 and the
Battlefield
entire
6.
disaster that game was, right? So Battlefield is certainly making Call of Duty better. Now, a lot of you might remember the leaks and rumors that came out a while ago, which were claiming that Season 1 of Black Ops 7 was going to be crazy, right? It was going to be the biggest season in COD history.
Which nobody believed, because they say that shit every year, and it almost always is a letdown. But he's about to tell you why it's different. We're getting 2 great games, yes.
I remember the Ghost of Hope talking about it. A number of other leakers I saw talking about it as well. And apparently,
the consumers are eating this year.
That it was almost going to feel like too much, like too much content all at once. Like it was going to be crazy. Well, today we got the official roadmap. And I've got to be honest, like it doesn't look like it's going to be too much, but it does look pretty damn good. It's actually quite...
No, it definitely is not going to be too much, but it's going to be what we've always needed with seasons in Call of Duty.
Comparable to a few seasons that we've had in Call of Duty's years past. So while yes, it is the biggest, I think a lot of us, myself included, sort of overhyped the season based on those leaks and those initial rumors and things like that.
Yeah.
I think the thing that really gets me here is how they're counting the maps and what they're doing to sort of pad out their numbers. So let's just go ahead and jump right on into it. As we can read from Treyarch, the biggest year in Black Ops history starts with Black Ops 7 launch, and it's just the beginning. Season 1 will be our most massive season.
Yeah, and you have to remember that they just revealed the maps, and I think that might have been it. They didn't reveal anything else. Oh no, and then how many weapons were coming at the launch of Season 1, and they also said that one I think a Maddox AR from BO4, forgive me, I didn't really play BO4 that much, was also coming with Season 1. So there's like 7 or 8 weapons, I think, and then like all the maps you see on your screen. But that's all that they revealed. That's they said and more, because there's gonna be more. You know what I mean? So this is just the beginning of what they're going to be doing for just Season 1.
2 Zombies experiences on November 14th, Nuketown 2025 on November 20th, 7 multiplayer maps.
I'm just glad we're getting something playable this year. Yeah, true.
3 Zombies maps in Season 1, and even more to be announced. And right from the get there, guys, holy shit, that does sound like a lot.
No, it's actually crazy that even if they didn't do this, it wouldn't compete with Battlefield 6 if they didn't. They do need to do this to actually stay afloat here, right? And to get people back into the game. But it's crazy that just lowering SBMM like they did in the beta literally changed everybody's perception of the game. Like the complete turnaround that happened when they did that was insane. When they announced that was going to be the default matchmaking. Like, because that's all that they ever needed. It's actually insane. That's all they ever needed to do. Like now, like seriously, Ink Slasher said this, Ink TV, but I'm going to say it too. Now go back and think about Modern Warfare 2. One of the worst Call of Duties we got ever since MW 2019. Like in the SBMM era of COD, which is now what people are coining it. Think about MW2, the new one. even that game would have been playable if they had the matchmaking that they had in the beta. And that's facts. Even that would have been even people would have been able to have fun with that. If that, even with all of the other issues. That's how big that change actually was. Yes, I was having fun for the first time. I literally cried. I didn't actually cry, but I teared up a little bit on stream when I was playing the playlist, because I was like, oh my God, like, I'm not just being constantly punished. There's no words to describe how it felt. Like, you'd have to play it first. It was unbelievable.
Like, Battlefield 6 really got these guys to get their act together. But then I decided to look deeper into what's actually coming to Black Ops 7, and I'm not trying to be pessimistic here. Like, I'm really not. I'm trying to be objective, so let's just look at the roadmap.
But it's fair to be worried, right? Like, I understand, and Nero typically is a little pessimistic, right? He typically is a little bit. But it's definitely fair to be worried. We've gotten dicked over year after year now. So, and honestly, I think everything should be taken with a little grain of salt. You know? We should be a little worried at all times with Call of Duty, because they could just pull some shit out their ass and ruin it again.
And I think a lot of you guys will see where I'm coming from. November 20th is going to be Nuketown 2025, which is weird because the game is set in 2035. So why is it Nuketown 2025? Like, why wouldn't it be a new version of Nuketown? But my own personal take is that doesn't really...
What's weird is it kind of is, though. Like, even though it's a remaster of Black Ops 2's, it looks a little different. So they could have just called it Nuketown
like
2035.
A content update for me, right? Like, it's a Black Ops game. You know, Nuketown's been in every single Black Ops game. It's been in more than just every Black Ops game, for crying out loud. So I don't personally count that as like a proper content update. You know, the same way I didn't count back in Black Ops 6 when they added in the winter version of Nuketown for Season 1. That wasn't a new map. Trevor tried to push it as one, but it wasn't really a new map. You guys know what I mean? Well, from there, we see 6 multiplayer maps, 1 blurred out map, and then we have the zombies map, Astra Malorum. I probably butchered that all to death.
He thinks that that's a blurred out map. I don't think that this is supposed to be a blurred out map. Maybe it is, but I'm pretty sure that it's supposed to be saying there's a lot more coming with Season 1. Like, it's going to be like they're going to describe all the LTMs and what all the weapons are. And it's saying like all the shit that would normally be in a roadmap. I don't think that that's just one blurred out map. I don't think.
I mean, maybe somewhere it stands for Stars of Evil. I don't know. It's just what I read. It looks pretty cool, but I think the big takeaway here is they're kind of like padding out their numbers a little bit, right? When you really look at Season 1, what really is there? You know, like there are 4 new multiplayer maps, and then likely 3 map remakes from Black Ops 2. We're not entirely sure what the blurred map is going to be, but they have been teasing.
I don't think that that's I think he's wrong about that. I could be wrong, but I don't think that that's what they're trying to say with the N more thing.
A lot of remakes lately, and one that they haven't shown so far is Yemen, despite them talking about it quite a bit. So that could be Yemen, but the image doesn't really look like Yemen to me. But for the sake of argument here, we're just going to call the blurred map a remake solely because of how many times Matt Scrons has been teasing Black Ops 2 remakes over the course of the past couple of weeks. I also think it's important to remember that they're not reimagining these maps. These are the exact same maps as before, and most of these were recently remade with Black Ops Cold War. You know, things like Hijack and Standoff, they've been remade countless times, though I would like to say it is very nice to see a forgotten classic like Meltdown return. Maybe I'm the problem here, but after dealing with remake after remake after remake,
I know, but also Black Ops 2 maps are just so unbelievably good that I don't care. I know that sounds retarded, but like in Cold War, the Black Ops 2 remasters made that game 1,000 times better. Like, I don't know what the fuck they were on during Black Ops 2, but those maps specifically are just 1,000,000,000,000 times better than any other game's maps. I don't know what they did. I don't know how they did it, but
the past 5 years, hell, even going back to a game like Black Ops 4, which I love that game.
Now, will they hold up with the movement? We'll have to see, but
an amazing title. Even that game was full of so many remakes, and just after all these years, I'm burnt out on it. You know, just copying and pasting nostalgia maps over and over doesn't do it for me anymore. Like seeing Standoff, which is probably a top 10 map of all time. In fact, in my old video I made, my top 10 maps in COD history, I'm pretty sure Standoff is in there. I love that map and everything, but it's like the 4th or 5th time total that we've seen it. Like I've been there, I've done that, you know, and just remaking it yet again doesn't really have the same impact for Season 1 as having something something like 7 completely original maps being released. You guys know what I mean? Maybe if this was like the first time we saw Standoff return, or maybe the first time we saw Hijacked return, then people would be hyped. But when it's like the 4th or 5th time for both maps, they're basically just as much of a staple of Black Ops games now as something like Nuketown. But moving on from there, they claim that 3 Zombies maps will be coming out, but it's really only just one. Like Exit 115 and the Cosmodrome are survival maps, right? So essentially they're just taking the diner area from Ashes of the Damned, which will be coming out at launch, and they're making it a survival map. Then the launch area of Astra Malorum, they're also making that a survival map, right? So if you played Zombies back during the Black Ops 7 beta, you know exactly what this is, man. It's a tiny map. Everything you need is there. It's a farm, essentially, right? You go there to grind your camos and do your challenges, and I'm a bit torn on this. Like, to me, even going old school here, something like Farm from Black Ops 2 does not sit right with me being called a full-fledged map, you know? Like, Town was a bit of a gray area, but even then, section...
Yeah, but Farm from Black Ops 7 is nothing like Farm from Black Ops 2. Like Modern Zombies has way more shit in it than classic Zombies. They're not the same thing at all.
Soft areas of a real map being called maps on their own doesn't sit right with me for some reason. Like, a good example of this would be, do you guys think it's right to put Black Ops 2's Farm in the same category as Mob of the Dead? Because that's a...
Yeah, but you can't... Okay, I understand by the way, I totally get what he's saying. And I don't necessarily disagree. It's just it's being a little bit disingenuous, because in old Zombies, what was there to do in the game? A survival map back then, it was, okay, I spawn in. Likely, if it's a survival map, either it has Pack-a-Punch or it doesn't have it. So you might not even need a Pack-a-Punch. But let's just say there is a Pack-a-Punch. There's no quest to unlock it. It's literally just there. Right? That's if this would be a survival map. There's no quest. It's literally just there. And all you had to do back then was you spawn in, you hit the mystery box, you buy your perks, and then it was only 4 at the time too. So you buy 4 perks, Pack-a-Punch your gun, you're done. I mean, that's what a survival map was back in Black Ops 2. The ones there didn't even fucking... Farm didn't even have a Pack-a-Punch back then, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure the original Black Ops 2 Farm didn't even have a Pack-a-Punch. So what did you do? You just spawned in, bought a gun from the mystery box, and bought 4 perks? And we're comparing that to Mob of the Dead? That's literally not fair, because old Zombies, the content was the quests, the Easter eggs, the quest to unlock Pack-a-Punch, the quest to unlock this, to do that, that was the content. Now in Modern Zombies, what is it? You spawn in, you get a bunch of salvage, you upgrade your weapons rarity to tier 5, you get an ammo mod, you Pack-a-Punch your gun 3 times, you get tier 2 and then tier 3 up. It's like there's like a billion things to do in survival. So this is not a fair comparison. It's not. I'm sorry. There's way more content in just surviving in Modern Zombies than there was back then.
Essentially what they're doing here with Black Ops 7. It would be like in
is it the same? Yeah, is it... He's still right. Don't get me wrong, he's still right, but it's a little bit disingenuous what he's saying.
I'm taking the Map Express, which is also being remade for Black Ops 7, taking that map and then sectioning off like the inside of it and then calling that a brand new map. Like, I get it, it's kind of a new map, but is it really though? So survival maps are going to be...
The way he just said that is right. There you go.
Insanely popular. There's no doubt in my mind. They're great for grinding camos and challenges. I'm just trying to point out that they aren't on the same level as a full-fledged map.
So to say
that there's going to be 3 whole Zombies maps coming to Season 1...
But they didn't say that. They just said 3 maps. I understand. Then they did specify that it's 2 survival and 1 main.
It's a bit misleading at the very least. Like, even in their tweet there, they call the farm map a Zombies experience, but in Season 1, they call the other survival maps full-on maps. You know what I mean? Like, they're kind of talking out of both sides.
Okay, that is a little weird.
As their mouth here, but that all being said, however, the sheer amount of content for Black Ops 7...
I'm so sorry. I apologize when I got back. Something was wrong with the YouTube chats. I have no idea why I couldn't see your shit. What is up, Vegeta? How are you? I am so sorry.
Launch and
Dude,
season
then I
one-
said, I'm sorry, the Locust. I'm sorry, Vegeta. I'm sorry, Goku. I'm sorry. I started apologizing. I don't know what happened in the chats. Yes, you are absolutely welcome.
It's pretty freaking insane by Call of Duty standards. There was a run there for
I literally
years
just couldn't
where we
see
would
'em.
barely get like 10 multiplayer
couldn't
maps
see your
at
guys'
launch,
messages.
but now we have 17 original maps, 7 Black Ops 2 remakes, 2 Ground War maps, 2 full Zombies maps, and 3 survival maps between the launch of Black Ops 7 and Black Ops 7 Season 1. That is pretty insane overall, and then you combine all of that with them claiming, we'll see how it goes, but them claiming that there will be no skill-based matchmaking. They're bringing back things like weekly challenges, like basically all the bad things about COD from the past couple of years. They're claiming all of that is gone. So on paper, this sounds like one of the best Call of Duty games ever. Like regardless of how you feel about the movement or the gunplay or whatever,
Who's yapping?
like objectively from a content
Bitch.
perspective and a matchmaking perspective, Black Ops 7 seems pretty good, and there's going to be a shit ton of things for people to do and things for people to grind for. I think a big thing for me is them finally bringing
If you're talking about the video, we're watching NeuroCinema's video on Black Ops 7.
back some of those old school forgotten maps, you know what I mean? Like especially Meltdown. That's a great example. I've done entire videos in the past ranking Call of Duty's most forgotten maps, and I think Meltdown was even in the thumbnail of that video. Like there are so many banger maps throughout Call of Duty's history that were just beloved by fans. They were one-hit wonders. They helped carry that game that year, and then
It
for
is
some
so
reason they were
weird
just
seeing
forgotten.
Black Ops
Like,
2
instead of
gameplay, bro.
focusing on that giant back catalog that they have, Activision instead just keeps pushing out Raid and Hijacked and Standoff and Firing Range. Of course, I would not be surprised whatsoever if Firing Range comes back for Black Ops 7. Maybe they can make it the studio remake like they had in Black Ops 2. You know, every single year we get the same maps over and over. And I've said it before, but I truly hope that those old school map designers get paid royalties because Activision
should.
has milked their work to
I absolutely agree with that, for sure.
but I know for a fact they're not getting paid a cent for that anymore. But still, while I may be fatigued of seeing things like Hijacked and Standoff return so often, seeing those never before returned classics like Meltdown will certainly be a nostalgia trip for me personally, and I'm sure
Well, it'll be a nostalgia trip. I'm actually not so sure that Meltdown will play well with the modern design of Call of Duty, but we'll see.
for many of you guys out there. Now, another aspect of the new season that I haven't talked about so far would be the weapons. Obviously, weapons are a pretty big part of every Call of Duty season, and this time around, they're adding in 7 new weapons, which is also
Yup.
pretty freaking crazy compared to like the normally 2 or 3 weapons we
Yeah,
get
the 2
in
or 3
traditional
per
COD seasons.
fucking month and a half.
We're getting 7 of them with
I
Black
slapped Goku because he was talking about my wife Bulma.
Ops 7
Valid
season 1.
crash out,
We
you
don't
know
know
what I'm saying?
exactly how they're going to be handling everything, but they did give us another one of those dev talk videos over on Twitter, and in there they have confirmed a couple of things. Again, 7 weapons with season 1. One of them is going to be the return of the Maddox assault rifle from Black Ops 4, and then from there we're also going to be getting the crossbow and the ballistic knife. So from the sounds of it, there will be 5 guns being added with 2 specials on top of that, but aside from the Maddox, we really don't know what the other guns are going to be. I think that's a big reason why this is going to be like the biggest season in COD ever. The multiplayer maps, while they're kind of skewing things a little bit there, it's objectively the most maps we've ever seen within a season, right? And then we look at the weapons there, that's also pretty much the most actual weapons.
But then you have to remember that there'll be events and weekly challenges on top of all of that, right?
Ever seen in a Call of Duty season. And when it comes to all the map remakes, I think a lot of fans are actually going to be pretty happy to see that, solely for the fact that Activision apparently hates money. Like, so many people out there want Black Ops 2 remastered, but Activision just won't give it to us. So playing those OG maps in Black Ops 7 will probably be as close
Black Ops 2 Remastered, I'm sorry, this is going to hurt so many people's nostalgia. Black Ops 2 Remastered would suck dick. Would suck dick. Like, you have to understand, Black Ops 2 wouldn't work today if it dropped. Bro, people have gotten so much, like, an absurd amount better at video games since this time. And it's also an absurd amount better at Call of Duty since this time. Even getting rid of SPMM on this game, like they did with what they're doing, well, not getting rid of it, but lowering it to that they're going to Black Ops 7. Even if that matchmaking was in this game, it still would suck. I'm sorry. People have just gotten way too good. That shit would drop and motherfuckers' whole reality would be shattered.
as we'll ever get to a proper remaster of that game, though it's not going to be the same because people are going to be wall jumping and butt sliding and doing all that stuff. I am curious to see what the dates and the timing for all this is going to be as well, because going back to Battlefield 6, it's clear these games are heavily...
By the way, Black Ops 2 is my favorite Call of Duty of all time. That's someone who's saying that, right?
competing
That's
with
the
one
person
another,
who's saying
so
what
chances
I
are
just
they're
said.
probably going to schedule their updates and seasons around one another. If Battlefield is doing an event for this week, well then Call of Duty will likely post their event the week afterwards, right? I personally don't see them going head-to-head directly, but that would be really freaking interesting if they actually did that. Like, what if Activision launches Season 1 for Black Ops 7 at the exact same time that Battlefield launches their mid-season update for Battlefield 6? Like, how would that end up working out? Like, they're doing that big winter event for Battlefield 6. We already know about that. So what would happen?
Don't say 6-7. I just did.
Two had to directly compete, you know, like would Battlefield players go play COD to check out the new maps, or maybe would Call of Duty players take time away from that game to come over to unlock the new stuff in Battlefield? Like, these two games are directly competing, and so far they've been doing so in indirect ways, you know, trailers here, poking fun there, kind of scheduling their betas away from each other. But Activision have done things like make the entirety of Black Ops 6 campaign multiplayer and zombies, all of it, making that free during the launch week of Battlefield 6. So we know Activision can be pretty petty, but it's going to be a stupidly interesting time as Battlefield 6 is already out, but then we have all the launch content for Black Ops 7 and then going into the biggest season in Call of Duty history in terms of number of maps and number of weapons and things like that. You guys remember back when we used to say that competition is good for everybody? Well, things are definitely going to be heating up here pretty soon, but we're going to have to wait to see how everything plays out. Like right now, Battlefield 6 is enjoying their biggest launch in the history of the franchise, and Season 1 is right around the corner for that game. And then in 3 weeks' time, we have the launch of Black Ops 7 and eventually their Season 1. So to put this in like wrestling terms, it's kind of like the old Monday Night Wars, man. Like straight up like WWF versus
Goku!
WCW.
And he actually opened with "Hey, it's me, Goku."
Ratings. You guys know what? Both companies
Who's
benefit
yapping the
from all
Japanese
that.
yapper? It's Nero. We're watching Nero right now.
Until the end, until WCW
Talk
fell
about Black
off
Ops
and
7.
WWF started to blow up with the whole Attitude Era, and then eventually WWF actually bought out WCW. But regardless, maybe that wasn't a great example, but it kind of is, right? Like, these two companies are going to war right now, and as the fans, as the players, we are the ones who are going to benefit. It's going to be a pretty damn busy couple months here on the channel, so I hope you guys will all stick around with me for the ride. But for right now, I'm going to wrap this video up here today. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts and feedback on Season 1 of Black Ops 7 down there in the comments. Thank you all so much for listening, and until next time, I hope you guys all
have a wonderful day. All right, W video by Neurocinema. Video be in the top, link in the description. Obviously, go fucking check them out. Go show some love. Go support. It was fun to react to it. Yeah.